From there, let's move on to kind of a bigger picture look at the playoffs as they stand. 3 teams left. The Avalanche are minus 220 to win the Stanley Cup, coming off of a 4-game sweep of the Oilers. The Lightning now plus 350. The Rangers 6-1. One thing I do want to ask you about the Avalanche is Naz Kadri's out. The Avalanche now, he was. A lot of times when you're asking your second line center to be more effective than productive, I think that goes for basically your middle 6 centers. But Kadri this season was both those things. He was incredibly effective at his whatever role he had to play in a game, but he was also productive. It doesn't seem like it's going to be as big a crisis as this would have been maybe last year, because it looks like Mikko Rantanen can just kind of slot over, and they have the winger depth to make sure that with Artturi Lehkonen and Nichushkin, like those guys should be able to fill in fine around Rantanen to make sure that things don't come undone. But does it give you any cause for concern that without Kadri, maybe, and also the goaltending situation there is a little wobbly. So if you are trying to poke holes in the Avalanche and make a case for one of the other 2 teams, can you do it?
Yeah, I definitely think you can. I mean, as someone who's been very pro Avalanche all year, I don't think I would jump in on that series number, because either way, like whether they get Shesterkin or Vasilevsky, like that is a massive goalie discrepancy to cover. And as much as I think the Oilers did look really good through the first 2 rounds, I think we kind of knew all year they had those flaws. And I think that them showing through was a big part of Colorado being able to do what they did and, hang in there with Francouz. But playing Tampa and possibly New York, it's going to be a lot harder to cover that up, where you're probably not just scoring at will when you have one of these miscues or maybe a softer goal. So I do think there's definitely some reason as to why Tampa or even New York could find a way to claw into the series.
Yeah, and then there's also going to be the rest versus rust stuff. We just saw it with Tampa and the Rangers. I do think the situation needs more context. Not every rest versus rust spot is the same, just like in a lot of things in betting. This one, I wouldn't penalize or be as worried about Colorado as I was about the Lightning before game 1, because the Lightning, so much of the Lightning success hinges on Vasilevsky playing at an elite level, and a 9-day layoff for a goalie of his stature is not a good thing, right? Like you want that guy to be playing every other day, like with Francouz and Kemper, who needs to get healthy. It's just not as big a deal. So I think the way to attack that Stanley Cup final series will be to try to beat Colorado in game 1. And if it does come through, then you're looking at a pretty good discount on the Avalanche going forward.